70s are such a beautifully terrible time for basketball. Sidney Wicks was the best player in college in 1971. He won 3 straight championships at UCLA, playing next to the likes of Kareem and Bill Walton. The Blazers took him with the 2nd overall pick in 1971, really the 1st overall pick, as they paid the Cavs $250,000 not to take him. $250,000 in 1971 in an NBA franchise is a fortune, and even being one of the most exciting young players in the league, there is not a soul in the stands behind him. No one is watching these games. Wicks is in the College Hall of Fame. He had a legendary career at UCLA. In the 1970 championship game against Jacksonville, he matched up against Artis Gilmore, one of the best centers ever. Even at just 6'8", he took that defensive assignment, grabbed 18 rebounds, and blocked 7 shots. Even during that game, to fuel a comeback, he dunked on Artis Gilmore, which you could not do, who was illegal, but he was just fiery. He had that flair. In his first 4 seasons, Wicks made the All-Star team every year, was top 20 in points per game and rebounds per game each season, and averaged 4 assists per game, which is quite high for a power forward. But the Blazers were a brand new expansion team, really struggling to be competitive. Jeff Petrie, their very first pick, before Wicks, was pretty good, but after that, in 1972, they took LaRue Martin 1st overall. That's one of the worst picks ever. In 1973, they took Barry Parkhill 15th, who was horrible, and he didn't play for them. He went to the ABA instead. So Wicks and the Blazers never made the playoffs. It was reported that Sidney Wicks had a bit of an attitude issue, didn't really care about the outcome of the games, just wanted big numbers to get the big paychecks, and when the Blazers sold his rights to Boston in 1976, the Blazers won the championship next year, and Boston gets worse. He would go to the Clippers after that, and his career just kind of petered out. Also, Calvin Murphy whooped his ass so hard during his time in Boston, and that fight you can find online. Even though it happened in the late 70s, some of the cleanest punches you'll ever see landed in an NBA game. He kind of reminds me of like Zion in a way, like insanely athletic power forward and just couldn't really stay healthy. Maybe mix in like a little bit of Blake Griffin, a little bit of Rasheed Wallace, some Derek Coleman in there too, like that kind of brand of power forward, and that's what Wicks is to me. Overall, his all-star teams and his production is worth something, even if the teams he was playing for weren't very good. On the power forwards list, he ended up kind of next to like Anton Jameson, Paul Millsap, David Lee, Kenyon Martin, Lamar Odom kind of tier power forward, and he's 300th all-time.